going on, Jerome's? So we get accused of drinking the purple drink, a little bit too much, drinking the purple Kool-Aid. But they're not a sponsor. And also, I forget the name of the pre-workout, but they have a grape flavor, which also grape-flavored things like pre-workout or soda or whatever, they never taste like grape. They taste like purple, which I can get down with, man. Anyways, the big story of the day is the Tennessee Titans parting ways with head coach Mike Vrabel. 6 seasons. Vrabel's got a winning record, taken the stupid Titans to the playoffs 3 times. He's been coach of the year. I mean, Vrabel's a good coach. Is there a mess in Tennessee? Yes, but it was very stupid for them to fire Vrabel. Also, them saying is like, well, we didn't want to trade Vrabel because we would have been waiting. We could miss out on their candidate. What candidate with options is going to take the Titans job? It's so, but yeah, Vrabel got fired. But of course, since it's all about the Vikings here on this channel, what does this mean for us? Well, actually, this could be huge for Brian Flores potentially returning for year 2 with the Vikings as defensive coordinator. Now, we've said this a bunch. I would love for Brian Flores to have another crack at being a head coach. He's certainly earned it. But I think that given his experience with what happened in Miami, I think that he's going to be selective. He's just not going to take one of the 32 jobs just to take a job. I just really don't think so. So also, it seems like he's talked about like this is the most fun he's had in coaching, getting together with his Vikings defense. Also, with a talent infusion along the D-line and cornerback, I think that this defense could be top 5 very easily next year if Flores returns. But getting ahead of ourselves with Vrabel. So Vrabel, former Patriot player. Look at this jabroni. Looking like HGH Scott Stapp with arms wide open. And Vrabel, I mean, people made a big deal about Vrabel on his bye week up in the box suite at the Patriots game for the Hall of Fame ceremony induction. I don't think that was a mistake. So, Vrabel obviously has his ties with the Patriots. Now, he never coached for the Patriots. He came up through coaching ranks at the Ohio State. Also, there's a lot of Buckeye fans freaking out. I was like, oh, fire Ryan Day and bring in Vrabel. Bring him home. We'll see. But Vrabel worked his way up through the Titans and then eventually the Texans before getting the Tennessee Titans job. But even though Belichick says that he's committed to next season and is willing to give up GM powers, I think that Robert Kraft and the Patriots may want to have a clean slate. And also, I think that they're going to bring in a name with familiarity, whether that's Gerard Mayo, who's currently on staff, whether that's Mike Vrabel, or Brian Flores would be a name that makes a ton of sense. And Flores, like we said, should and could be selective with where he's going to hang his shingle next as a head coach. And I mean, the Patriots would make sense because he was a player at Boston College. He was a badass safety back in the day, man. As well as he got to start in the Patriots organization as a scout before crossing over to the coaching staff, rising up to de facto defensive coordinator, beating the Rams' ass in the most boring Super Bowl ever, 13-3 in 2018 before he got the Dolphins head coaching job. So this would make sense. And from everything we've read, like Flores and Kraft seem to have a good working relationship, so that would also be important there. So I think that the Patriots job would be 1-1-1 with Flores. But with Vrabel, I think that it makes all the sense in the world for the Patriots to just swoop in and move on from Belichick or trade Belichick and then bring in Vrabel. I think it's a fait accompli. I think that's what's going to happen. So if that one's off the table, and looking at the other openings, so the Raiders job, I mean, they're going to go hard in the paint for Harbaugh. So are the Panthers, so are the Chargers, and so are the Falcons and the Commies, I'm sure, right? But of these jobs, like, which ones are appealing? I mean, the Chargers, sure, because you got Herbert in place, and you got pieces like Rashawn Slater. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, what really stands out? Like, are you thrilled to go to the Panthers where you have Bryce Young? Maybe you don't believe in him, don't have a first-round pick, and also your 3 of your key players are free agents. The Raiders are constantly a mess, and they don't have a quarterback. The Falcons, I mean, the Falcons have talent, yes, and they're in position to potentially get a quarterback, but I don't know, you buying into what they're selling there, or the Commies. I mean, it's not your dad's Commies under Daniel Snyder for sure. And yes, they do have the number 2 overall pick and a ton of cap space, but and then you got the Titans. The Titans might be a mess. The Titans are absolutely idiots for letting go of Vrabel, but also maybe Vrabel wanted out because that team has been so piss poorly mismanaged. It's ridiculous, man. So I think that Flores, I mean, he may not be the top option for some of these teams. He may not want to be part of these teams, which is great. And again, selfishly, I would love if Flores is back. Maybe with Harrison Smith on a cheap deal. Who knows? But especially Danielle Hunter. But either way, I got all the respect in the world for Brian Flores. If he gets a head coaching job, that's fantastic. We'll be rooting for him, except for when he plays the Vikings, as well as if he returns, even better. Let's build a hellacious defense with a talent infusion. We'll stop the run, and then we'll go out and whip somebody's ass, man. Let's go. Let's go, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Mike Vrabel's firing is actually really big for the Vikings. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.